everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Amanda Ostrander. I am a teacher turned homeschool mom, and this is Raising A to Z, a place where I talk about all things homeschooling. And today we're answering the question, do you really need a homeschool room? So let's just start off. It is now 2026. It is a brand new year. I'm very excited for the new year. And as you can see, if you are a longtime follower, we have a new set. Isn't that exciting? So yeah, brand new set, brand new studio space. Super excited about it. But yeah, little changing things up a little bit for 2026. With it being the new year, this is one of those times in the year that you will see an influx of homeschoolers into our homeschooling community. We obviously see a lot in September, people starting homeschooling, making the decision over the summer to homeschool. That's very common. January is another very, very common time for a lot of people to make the switch. They kind of leave the school system after, with the Christmas break, and then just decide not to go back for January. It's very, very common to see an influx. So if you are a new follower or a new homeschooling family, welcome to Raising A to Z. So with this influx of new people and new families into our community, one of the things that comes up a lot is I see a lot of people talking about their new homeschool space and setting up their homeschool room right now. And then I see some people saying, well, I don't have an extra space. And what do we do? And what do we need? And so I thought we would answer this question. Do you really need a homeschool room? Let's talk about it. If you take 2 seconds and you go onto Pinterest or Instagram, you will see dozens of examples of homeschool rooms, beautifully laid out mini classrooms or rooms with tables and posters on the walls and atlases and globes and chalkboards. And they look like these cute little, mini classrooms in your home, cozy and cute. And for a lot of people, that's kind of the dream. They see that in their head and that's what they want. And for some people, and if you have the space and that's something you want to do, go for it. Never going to stop anyone. But then I also see a lot of people who come back and they're like, hey, we live in an apartment. We don't have an extra room to dedicate to homeschooling. We have a small house. We don't have an extra room for homeschooling. Does that mean that we can't homeschool? Is having a homeschool room a requirement? That's kind of the whole vibe that you see in the internet spaces, all these social media spaces, that these beautiful rooms, beautifully curated rooms, mind you, right? Rooms with perfect bookshelves and excellent lighting and no mess. We see these curated rooms and we start to think that maybe homeschooling isn't an option for us. Maybe our space is too small. Maybe our space is too messy. It's too busy. There's nothing that we can actually, maybe we can't homeschool in a space like this. And I'm here to tell you, it's not the case at all. You can 100% homeschool your kids without a homeschool room. Let me tell you, when we started homeschooling, originally when we first started, Zoe was very little. She was she would have been 1. So we did a lot of homeschooling at the dining room table with Zoe in the high chair. So I would give her little things on the high chair. Alexi would do her little work on at the table, but it was coloring work, right? We were preschool. And that worked. That was fine for us. Once we got to those kindergarten years, I fell for it. I was we need a homeschool space. And for us, I justified it as A, we need a homeschool space. B, we need a playroom on our main floor because we have a basement, we have a main floor, and we don't really have a living room on our main floor. So there was nowhere for the kids to play. So I justified in my head as this is going to be their homeschool / playroom space. We called it the activity room for years. And so that was the space that we had. We have a 3-bedroom house. We had a bedroom. The kids shared a bedroom. And then the 3rd bedroom became their homeschool room, activity room, right? And so we did that for a number of years. And I was oh, this is going to be our homeschool space. I had it set up so nicely. We had the shelving. We had the nice big table. We had, cool artwork and whiteboards that were magnetic to hang their stuff. In the beginning, it was great. And we did do school in there for probably about a year. I don't even know what prompted the transition, but at some point we ended up doing school at the dining room table. I think it was we were doing a messy project or something that we needed more space than what we could have on our like school table. And so we moved to the dining room table, and we kind of never left. It's been like 4 years of us doing school at our dining room table. And for us, that's become like the best option. So we had a homeschool room until June of this year, of 2025, but we actually never used it. It was like purely became a playroom. And so actually in June, we converted it to a bedroom, back to a bedroom, and Zoe moved into it. She loves it. It is arguably probably the messiest room in our house because that girl loves her stuff and she loves to build worlds. But it's her bedroom now. And Alexia has her own bedroom. We have our own bedroom, and we don't have an official homeschool space anymore. And that's kind of fine. We're totally fine with it. We love it. And we actually love doing homeschooling at the dining room table. Some people love having a designated space. Don't get me wrong. I think the people who love it are the ones who really love having kind of like the really structured days, who really like the routine. They like being able to close the door and saying, this is like where we do school. And there's something to be said about having a space that kind of separates things out. That's why people have home offices, right? Like they always say like, it's not good to like do work in your bed where you're sleeping because like it makes it hard for your brain to shut off. That works too. Like that logic does apply, that when they walk into the schoolroom, they know that this is time to like sit and focus and do what needs to be done. And I can understand the argument for that. Some people like it. Some people like being able to kind of like control the space a little bit better. Not having to clean up as often, because like that is kind of the one downside of using your dining room, is that like every day you have to put everything away because we do need to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the same spot. But you know, trade-offs, right? So yes, if you have a homeschool room and you love it and that's like a goal for you, by all means, go for it. Word of warning though, it will never look like it does on the Pinterest boards. Never. It is going to be messier. It is going to be full of paper and pencils and crafts and art projects and toys and castles and all the things. Okay. It's never going to look curated except for the like 2 times a year that you clean it out and reset it. Just word of warning, and just like being real. Okay. That's totally fine. If you love a homeschool room, you have a homeschool room and it's working for your family, wonderful. Keep doing it. If you don't have a homeschool room and you are like, I still want homeschool, I just don't know what I need in terms of space, let's talk about that. So what do you need in your home in order to homeschool in terms of like space? So here's what I would say you absolutely need. You need a writing surface. Okay. Whether that is your dining room table, a desk, your coffee table, clipboards, whatever it is, you need a writing space. So for us, it's our dining room table. I have seen some people who love homeschooling on the couch. I mean, homeschooling on the couch works better with like younger kids, but like some people love homeschooling on the couch. And so they all sit around on their like sofa and do their homeschooling either like by putting the papers on like a clipboard, or they're on the coffee table. That works for them. Amazing. You just need like a hard surface that you can write on. People who homeschool in the car, clipboards are a great option, right? You just need somewhere where you can put a piece of paper down and write easily and comfortably, right? So you need a place to write. You need a place to sit, because at some point you want your kids to sit. Dining room table chairs work really well for us. A desk chair, your couch, a cuddler like this. You need a place to sit to do some work at some point, right? I say you need something to contain stuff. Okay. Whether that is a bookshelf, whether it is a cabinet, whether it is a trolley, you're going to need something to help contain kind of your learning materials. We've had everything from like IKEA Kallax bookshelves, which we love. Those actually worked really well. But we've also like right now our homeschool space is basically we call it the tea cabinet. It's not really a tea cabinet, but it is. But it's this old antique cabinet that I painted, and it's supposed to actually be like a letter desk. But I keep all my tea, we put a little shelf inside, and I keep all of our teacups in there. And then it has some shelves underneath, and I keep all of our like books. So the kids have like a section on each shelf, and they have like Alexi keeps her stack of workbooks on one spot. Zoe has her stack of workbooks. I have some reference books on there. I have a couple of like learning materials, and that's our space. We also have a little cart that I will keep anything that doesn't fit on the shelf. I keep our morning basket. I keep some counters, our pencils and stuff. We have that, but like, that's it. We have a little shelf. It works. Like, you just need something to put your stuff during the day. Some people like to use like a cabinet in their kitchen. Some people might use, like I said, a bookshelf. Some people just use baskets, and the kids just have a basket. Whatever. You just need a place to put your stuff. So you're not just like, oh my gosh, where's the math book again? Because like the math book has wandered all over the house. It is nice to have a place to kind of contain some stuff. You need a place to hold supplies. So like when I say supplies, I mean mainly like pencils, highlighters, pens, erasers, scissors, glue. That's kind of like the supplies that I find get used on a regular basis. So whether that is like one of those like caddies, that would work really great. I actually was able to get some, they're like little cups that clip onto those rolly carts. I have a pack of 4, I think, and they clip onto the cart. 3 or 4. I don't remember now. They clip onto the cart, and we just put pencils and stuff in there. That works really well. You can use cups. You can use pencil cases. Actually, both my kids do have a pencil case where they keep their like pencils, their set of highlighters, because they're very picky about their highlighters. An eraser, it's there. I also have extras on my cart, but yeah, something to keep all your supplies in. Super, super helpful. The other thing that I would say you need as a homeschool parent for space is you need a place to hang or put displays of projects or things. Your kid at some point is going to want to have their artwork on display. They're going to have an assignment that they are really proud of, a writing project, something. You need to be able to put it on display. This can be picture frames. It can be cork boards. It could be as simple as having magnets to put things on the fridge, right? It doesn't have to be complicated. But have a place where you can display the great stuff that your kid has done. That works really well. And I think it's good booster for kids. We've even done like strings with like clothespins up at one point. That was in our old homeschool room. Something to put the kids' work on display. And that's it. Like, that's all I'd say you really need in terms of a homeschool space. A place to write, a place to sit, a place to keep all your books and stuff, a place to keep all of your like pencils and stuff, and a place to display your projects. That's it. And you can make that space anywhere you want in your house. Nice bonuses. If you're like, okay, I would say a really good pencil sharpener is a really nice bonus. I think small whiteboards and dry erase markers are a really nice thing. They very, very multi-use, pretty small, easy to kind of contain, can use all the time. And then the other thing I would say is like some kind of device to look things up, whether that is an iPad, a laptop, your phone. It's just nice to sometimes if the kids have like a question to like, let's Google this, let's YouTube this and find a cool video. But those are, like I said, nice bonuses. They're not necessary. A printer. A printer is also a nice bonus. Again, not necessary. If you do print a lot of curriculum, I do recommend getting your own printer over going to Staples because that's crazy. But yeah, I think those are kind of the only things that you would need because that's the things that I'm using on a regular basis, having homeschooled for 7 years now. You don't need a homeschool space. You can build a space wherever you want and you can make your homeschool space work for you. And being honest, you can even like switch up your spaces sometimes. We have done homeschooling down on our couch every now and then. We have done homeschooling in my bed. Actually, we love to do a good part of our morning in my bed. We'll like like show up with a big like morning basket, and we'll like do all of our morning basket activities. And then we'll like do our like morning reading, just cuddled up in bed, the three of us. Great. It's fantastic. And then we go to the table and do like our actual like written work and stuff. But like you can change things up. You can do homeschooling anywhere you want. And that's one of the things that I think really clicked for me. And I think also one of the reasons why we moved out of the homeschool room was I really love the idea that we can homeschool anywhere. And I feel like for us, having the room, like the kids were like, we don't really want to do things if it's not in the room. And I was like, well, learning can happen anywhere. And so for us, being able to expand outside of our homeschool room and kind of putting it into our daily life more often felt a little more authentic, and it felt a little bit more genuine to like our homeschooling mission. And I think it's worked out really well for us. Do I get annoyed that there are always crumbs and like smears of stuff on the table when I'm like, hey guys, time for school, and I have to wipe the table again? Yes. But I also wouldn't change it. Like, given our space, I wouldn't change it. I love it. It's the space that works for us. So find your homeschool space, make it what you want it to be. Know that it's going to probably get shifted and moved and focused, and you're going to find a new thing that you love, a new caddy, a new cart, a new whatever. But just know that it's your space. And as long as your kids are happy and learning, space doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was inspiring. I hope it helped you out. If you guys have questions, comments, topics you want me to address, please drop them down in the comment. I would love to make videos about them. Got a lot of time coming up in 2026, so let's get some videos that are actually helpful for you. Make sure that you guys follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and I will see you guys next week.